Welcome back to Shore Sports Talk on 94.3 The Point, sponsored by Shoreline Wealth Management. I am Vin Ebenau, and joined by my old longtime pal, Nico Steriti, former teammates, of course, over Toms River High School East, the Raiders.
That's
doing
right.
Big things back in the day, right? Well, you got big things coming up in just a few days. Well, big thing, I guess 2 days, right? Elite 7v7 tournament coming up in Jackson Township. And you were on, I guess, about a month ago to kind of give that initial preview here. But over the last few weeks, how have things gone in terms of preparation? How many athletes do you have signed up?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, as always, Vin, I appreciate you. Thanks for having us on here.
Likewise.
Elite 7v7, S3, whatever
Yeah.
I've done, you've always supported. So,
Always.
We appreciate you. It's June 3rd, 4th weekend. So it's next weekend. Since we've last spoken, I took a trip down to Westlake High School in Texas as an intern, and there was more trips to be taken, but I just couldn't do the second one. But I worked as an intern at Elite 11 quarterback camp.
Okay.
It's where they pull the top quarterbacks from the country. They make it to the finals, and they're the guys that make it to the NFL. So there's 32 NFL rosters. 27 of the 32 NFL quarterbacks were Elite 11 quarterbacks in high school.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's Trent Dilfer's company. Brian Stump. I was hanging out with Devin Gardner.
Oh, wow.
So
There you go.
I learned a lot. I went down to Westlake High School, Drew Brees, like I said, and the football down there was amazing. And honestly, there was a few kids from that camp that got invited to the finals.
Oh, wow.
So I saw them with my own eyes. And to come back here, it just channeled even more motivation to kind of just, we got to get more football going around here, in terms of exposure and competition and networking. And I feel like a fall season's too limited for these kids because of how many sports are played up here in the Northeast, opposed to down south where football's a year-round sport. And it's up here we can laugh and joke about it, but it's really real. And if you look at the state of New Jersey on a grand scope, North Jersey is football. That's kind of what we're known for. Here. So there's a ton of talent here, and we produce gems in the NFL.
Yeah.
And at the next level, but there's not enough scope on it. Other than the media outlets locally.
Right.
But where's the engine of camps and combines and tournaments to develop these kids in the off season around here? I don't see at least as many that can do what we're doing. Right.
No, agreed.
And that's where we're at. We booked a second tournament after we had our first in Tinton Falls. So we're in Jackson AYF. We have a 2-day tournament. We have around 50 participants booked for this one, 6 different teams, 2 different 7v7 organizations.
Okay.
If you are a 7v7 organization, you can attend our event as a vendor for free. Get a table set up because there's going to be youth football organizations invited. Okay. So kids can network and learn about 7v7 and see how the older kids are doing it on the field. So this is kind of like the grand scope of it. And from there, we're just trying to, get this as much exposure as possible. We're partnering up with D1 Media Pro. It's a live stream event place for football and all sports. They're located in North Jersey. Okay. So we're going to have this live streamed, and you can collect the data as well. Like you could watch it again. So we have sponsors, La Mondina, DWAG LLC. Wow. Ray Katina Lexus.
There you go.
And we're working on a few more. They're our main sponsors for Elite 7v7. Our partners right now are Nike for our apparel. Nice. And NCSA. NCSA is the college recruiting database platform. Mm-hmm. So basically every kid who goes through our database, their information gets submitted through the NCSA portal. It's awesome. And now they all their content, all their information gets pumped out to every single coach from Division 1 to Division 3 instantly from us.
Which is amazing.
Without a membership.
That's huge.
Now, if you want a deeper, your prospect potential.
Sure.
NCSA offers obviously subscriptions for deeper, accessibility with coaches and whatnot and content. But we're all just about networking, connecting, and teaching these kids how to compete.
Yeah, and I guess if the big time college coaches and programs like what they see, they'll have that subscription. Like, you know what, we'll check it out.
You know what? Some of them don't even need that because they're already following our accounts. I have personal relationships with a lot of guys that are coaches at Boston College, that are coaches at Old Dominion, coaches at Fordham, coaches at Delaware, you name them. I got personal relationships who follow me on my personal accounts, and they're checking my stories. So. Nice. There's not even a recruiting subscription needed when there's eyes on you already.
That's true.
So if you're making plays on our platform, you're going to make impressions on other eyes, and from there, and in the shadows, behind the curtains, I'm always sending videos of players to my guys in group text messages. So
okay, there you go.
And that doesn't guarantee a scholarship,
right?
But if you don't have
at least take a look at this kid.
If you don't have an invitation to the dance, you're going to have to be dancing on the sidelines.
Yeah.
You got to go to the dance and perform. And That's kind of what we are. We're a platform for that.
So with this upcoming Jackson Elite 7v7 tournament, June 3rd and 4th. I had January in my head, but it was saying June. I was like, is that the right month? Yeah, it is.
Must have been from Chef Vin cooking all weekend. Your head's all scrambled eggs.
all those grill flames and everything. So what do people need to know here down the stretch with this tournament just a few days away?
Well, first and foremost, you can come. You can attend. 10 a.m. is when we want players to hopefully start checking in. 11 a.m. the event will kick off. We got 1v1 period where every kid just gets to roll through the roster and go up against everybody in 1v1s, receiver versus DB. And then from there we transition into tournament play. 9 games are being played on day one.
Okay.
That's 3 games for each team. Everyone gets to play everyone on day one. And day one will kind of determine who is seeded for the day 2 in terms of elimination and championship series. So there will be a crown champion. During the championship game on day 2 is when we'll run the 1v1 period as well on an adjacent field. There's a grass field. We can either do it there or there's some space on the stadium. So I just want to make sure kids don't just, depart after their loss.
Right.
Stay until the championship, go get some work in the 1v1s.
Yeah.
You'll have some time after that. Go watch the championship, network, watch the trophy ceremony, all that fun stuff. MVP. We have a Todd Walker MVP in honor of Todd, my friend who passed away. And we're in the process of developing a nonprofit.
Okay.
And that's the WWTD Foundation. What would Todd do?
That's great.
So, we have a lot of moving parts.
Sure.
And in time, we want to be on ESPN. We want to be on MSG, SNY. We want people to see that the Shore football players and, all the local football players in this area, if they're given the platform and the opportunity year after year, in 3 to 5 years from now, we can turn Jersey into Texas football.
There you go. That'd be awesome.
3 to 5. 3 to 5, because you have to start with like the 5th, 6th graders right now.
Right. Yeah. You try and build it in at some of those youth programs.
That would be our next conversation.
There we go.
Because I took a 12U position. I'm a head coach finally.
Okay, there you go. Congrats, man.
Yeah, first application I applied for and got as a head coach, so I'll take it. I'm a 12.
Can only go up from here.
Hey, no, there's no going back now. That's it. I'm a head coach for the rest of my life. That's it. Yeah. Even if it is youth football, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm ready to build something fun, for kids. Fundamental, right? Developing the mind, developing the fun. A lot of people in youth sports kind of forget that. As a parent coach,
right?
I'm not a parent coach. I don't have a kid on the team. I'm coaching just because I want to.
Yeah.
I have no kids in youth football, so
pass along your knowledge and love for the game.
Yeah, and I wanna give back to my community.
Sure.
I've been overseeing the youth football for many years, and I love the Toms River Warriors. I love what they did, merging all the schools, but it's creating a lot of confusion too, because a lot of kids then now get to choose what high school, whereas when we played with Pop Warner, You know, you had the Angels went to east.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
The Indians went to north. The Raiders went to south. So each high school could develop their youth program. That's huge for a high school varsity program. That's huge. I will never forget that when high school coaches and varsity kids came to our stuff, worked with us, or we got invited to game day and ran out for the coin toss in our uniforms.
That's right.
I will never forget that. I bleed black and silver for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But now they merged. You know, they're the Toms River Warriors, and all three schools, all four, Donovan, right? All four, and Jackson, all those, all in the area, Manchester, they're all going to the Warriors now, and they're competing. There's a lot of good talent,
for sure.
But I just want to make sure that the kids are learning and getting prepared if they're going to continue and play in high school.
Yeah, with the plan that you have and the model you're trying to build here, Nico, and God bless you.
You too, Vin.
Prayers and blessings here on Shore Sports Talk. What do you want to help get across to some of the young and upcoming athletes here with these football players at the youth level to say, all right, here's what you need to do to build your skill sets. Here's what you need to do to keep your emotions in check.
I don't care how many cones you run by. Ain't no cone ever tackled me. I don't care how many hurdles you jump over. No hurdle never tackled me. I don't care how many garbage cans you make miss. Ain't no trash can tackling me. Okay?
I like that.
So don't get lost in the sauce of training. Get ready to compete and prove yourself, because there's someone out there hungrier. Because I was very, very hungry, and I couldn't really showcase my talents at these drills. I wasn't quick between cones. I wasn't able to show my running back skills at a 7v7. I was physical. I was violent. But when we put on the pads, all those kids who were good in 7-on-7, all those kids who are really sharp with the tennis balls and really good with the garbage cans, what happened? They're not really that good no more. We all know that.
That's a good point.
So don't forget that. If you're a youth football player, don't get lost in the highlights on Instagram. Don't do it for that reason. Do it knowing there's a kid in Alabama, there's a kid in Louisiana, there's a kid in Texas, there's a kid in Georgia that don't really have much they're coming from, and all they want to do is play football for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
That's it. And then that's how it goes. Look at the top draft picks in the nation. Majority of them are coming from Texas. The top first round picks over the last 15, 20 years, a lot of them are coming from Texas, the state of Texas. There's a reason for that. There's high volume down there. High volume. The state's huge. So there's a lot of schools. So there's a lot of players. So why do you think Texas doesn't recruit in Jersey? Why do you think Alabama doesn't come to Jersey and take the top New Jersey Gatorade Player of the Year? Why would
they have a lot of elite talent down there in their own state?
So how do we elevate here?
Yeah.
We gotta compete more. A lot of kids are playing baseball in the spring. A lot of kids are wrestling in the winter. A lot of kids are shooting jump shots, and that's great. I love it. Play every sport you possibly can, but don't forget about that kid in Texas.
Sure.
Don't forget about that kid in Bama, because I learned too when I played against North Dakota State, when I played against Montana State, Central Michigan, Minnesota, Stony Brook, Delaware, William and Mary, James, whoever it was.
Right.
There's kids from all over the country. So if you think you're good, check yourself. There's someone out there who's better. Yeah. And if you don't think that way, you'll never be great. Never.
Yeah, you can't be complacent.
You'll never be great. You'll never be great because you already think you're great.
Right.
So how can you grow?
Exactly.
And that's a lot of kids in the youth. And I'm including high school.
Oh,
because
for
they
sure.
are youth.
Yeah.
And a lot of those kids, they're not hungry. The quiet ones, the silent ones, they're hungry. And I'm watching them. And I respect the heck out of them because that was our generation. We didn't have all this loud stuff on social media.
No.
I couldn't post my practice that day on YouTube.
Right. That's true.
Which, it goes both ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had other distractions then. So I just think if there's these amounts of resources for these kids, people who have played the game at a high level, who have networked with people at a high level, who have earned the respect from the game itself, should be helping these kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who haven't really done much in the game. Or if they did, it was just in high school. And that's cool.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But there's another level, you know? And there's people above me who did it at the NFL level. And I'm like a little kid still when I see them.
Sure.
I respect the heck out of them. I want to learn.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I know what that competition entails. I put a lot of those people on their back. You know, I competed against them.
Mm-hmm.
They made it. I didn't. But I got the film. I could show you the film. I beat a lot of NFL guys one-on-one.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they remember. You know, but not everybody makes it. So if that's the case, don't get lost in the sauce. That's all I'm saying. And that's why I'm getting involved with the youth. You know, that's why I'm getting involved with the 7v7 tournaments, because I need to help a lot of kids in one big group.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of private stuff with my training, but I need to get into big masses of people. And the youth is the best way, because they absorb it. They're passionate. They got a ton of energy, you know, and you can't be too negative with them. They're fragile, you know, they're vulnerable. You know, you got to teach them how to make mistakes, but be motivated to correct them and understand that process.
Right.
Don't belittle them and be condescending and make them feel like because they missed a tackle, they're the worst football player in the world, because then that kid's petrified to go tackle a kid again. If they're not mentally willed.
Overthinking.
They're just scared. I've been there. I watch. I go. And I did a drill once with these kids. I got brought in as like a volunteer to go work a practice, a youth football practice. Kid missed the tackle. I was like, all right, buddy, like, you'll get him next time.
Sure.
And he just started crying. And he was like too scared to go up. I looked at him. I was like, dude, why do you think you're out here? To practice.
Right.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Get him now. Take him down. You know?
Sure.
Teach that kid how to turn that pain and kind of inflict it on someone else in a game.
Right.
Because that's how I learned. You know? And then you have to learn the difference between a sport and a game and then reality.
Yeah.
But the more violent you are in that game, the better you are. Because down south, those dudes are violent.
Mm-hmm.
And they start young. So if you want to be good in football, you got to be violent. You got to play fast. You got to play violent. And you got to play together.
Be physical.
And that's our mantra for the 12U team this year. Fast, violent, and together.
I like it.
That's it. If you could play fast, you could get paid fast. You know?
Right.
If you could play violent, you know, you're gonna, no one's gonna want to play against you.
They're gonna be scared.
It hurts when another team is dominant physically. I've played against a team like that. It wears you out. It wears you out. You know? And then together, when you play a team who can, you know, handle the tides of the shift, right? Mm-hmm. The pendulum in the game, the momentum shift, the teams who can settle down and discipline and stick to the script and do what they do, they rise and they win and they become champions. The teams who, you know, start off rough and then just look around waiting for someone to save them, good luck. No one's going to save you. You got to look together. You got to look around. You got to take it upon yourself and take it personal if you're losing. Take it personal if you're practicing poorly. Don't wait for a coach to do that, because we got other things to focus on. Mm-hmm. We got to put you in better positions to make plays. But you better make the play.
Yeah.
And that's another problem with these kids. They make more excuses than they do plays, and it cracks me up. Hey, but coach, he did this to me. Hey, but wait, didn't you throw a pick? Oh, thought so. Oh, didn't you get beat deep? Oh, thought so. And they don't want to hear that.
No.
Good luck playing D1 football. We got hyenas out there, you know? So we're trying to bring that D1 mentality to the football atmosphere in Jersey, period, and the Northeast, because we have plans to go north.
It's big.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
So as you're thinking ahead here to what you'll tell the players before they, you know, hit the field after stretching and warming up at the tournament on June 3rd and 4th. I mean, what are some things that you want to tell them to get out there? I mean, I'm sure you'll have some athletes that are thinking like, oh man, there's all these colleges that are going to be looking at me, all these coaches, I want to be at my best, or some saying, oh, I got to do this or do that, and maybe their mind's all over the place. How do you help finish preparing them, give them that last message, like go out and just give it your best?
Well, First, a lot of them follow the channel. You know, they see what I'm about a little bit. They'll see this. A lot of them been to the first, so they know what I'm about. A lot of are returning. I'm excited. There's some studs, you know, that need some more exposure, and they need to compete more and to sharpen their skills. But essentially, the last message was like, you know, take advantage of the competition, take advantage of the networking, you know, and the knowledge. You know, those are 3 keys. Because all my coaches played, you know, so you got to listen to these guys of what they know. Let them coach you up. Don't you know, a coachable person is a reliable person and dependable person. So you want to be coachable. And our coaches are good. They're not going to rip you apart. Like, we're here to help you grow. You know, it's like a prospect camp, but a prospect league at the same time.
Okay.
My message for this one is like, just work in the silence. You know, be different. There's a lot of kids out there trying to be loud. There's a lot of people out there that want to be heard, and you know, that's all great. But if you just work in the silence over time, you'll get your message across. You know, if you really want it that bad,
right? Because
back in our day, we didn't have many social things and, you know, social media and stuff to be, all right, this is where I'm at. Look what I'm doing now.
Right, yeah, you know, like, what it is now.
You know, now we do that. But I'm saying when I played high school and college football, I had to work in the silence. You know, my freshman year, I redshirted. That bothered me. You know, I was going crazy. I hated being on scout team. My redshirt freshman year, I was still like 3rd on the depth chart at running back. So I was still on a lot of scout team stuff. I was on scout team till like week 3, 4.
Oh, wow.
As the running back for the 1s and 2s on defense. And then I was taking reps as a 2 at running back for the O. So I didn't have a break in practices. Yeah. So I got a lot of reps. And then by the end of the season, what do you think happens? People start getting hurt. Starting running back got banged up. The other running back skill set wasn't the skill set of a Division I running back. He was a Division I fullback, and him complementary with a Division I running back. Yeah, you know, that's good. But when you lose the Division I running back and you only have that fullback, you can't make the operation go. When a guy can't break a run over 30 yards, sorry, you're not a tailback.
Yeah, that's,
you know what I'm
that's
trying
an
to say?
issue. Yeah,
you're not. Catch the ball in the flat, go block somebody. You know, do your job. You know, whereas someone like myself as a redshirt freshman, I was a tailback. I was a running back, but I was young. So they threw me to the wolves once that guy got hurt. You know, my first game in, I had 10 receptions versus Towson for 90 yards as a running back.
There you go.
You know, check down. And that quarterback now is the ODU offensive coordinator, the guy who gave me the ball 10 times. There's a crazy story. There's a crazy story from that game, too. Our head coach wanted us to take a knee because we were losing. The game was over, you know? Yeah, Towson was whooping us. So, like, we had the ball. Matt, you're losing. You have the ball last drive with a few seconds left. Why are we going to try to keep going? You know, take a knee. Let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Risk injury.
Yeah. Me, I'm in the game. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I looked at the quarterback who was a senior, Kevin Decker. I'm like, no, you're not kneeing the football. You're handing me the football. We're not taking a knee, and we're losing. It's called victory for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The formation's called victory.
You
can't call formation victory and take a knee and you lose. You know what I'm saying? So
that doesn't make any sense.
We lined up to run the ball.
There you go.
Head coach called a timeout. went crazy on the quarterback. We took the knee. He went crazy on the quarterback right after. He went right to his face right after the game. Once the whistle was off. He didn't even go shake the other coach's hand yet. He went right to the quarterback like, how dare you go over what I said. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason I called the knee. I've been doing this 25 years. No need for us to get hurt.
Sure.
Someone hurt. We're trying to get into the playoffs. All right, we lost. Let's chalk it up. I got to make decisions. You know, we are a young kid.
Yeah.
Right? So the head coach then pulled me to the side in the locker room, Sean McDonald. He's like, Neek, I love it. You know, I love the mentality. I love it. But guess what? Sometimes we got to take a knee, get out of there, make sure no one gets hurt. And when he did it, he like cupped my face, like open palm, like, Neek, I love you. And all like whacked my face, you know, because that's just how he was. He was such a passionate person. He's the kind of guy who I would run through a brick wall today for.
Wow.
And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create that around here. If kids don't want to run through a brick wall for you, you better look in the mirror, coach. Period.
It's a fair point.
That's all I got to say.
Nick, last question for you. Just what else, to recap anything, what do players need to know, parents need to know, coaches about this Jackson 7-on-7 tournament in terms of showing up, what they need to bring, what they need to do?
Right on. So elite7v7football.com. Elite77 football, Instagram, all of it. You'll see, you can check us out, but elite7v7football.com. You can actually purchase, you can get your general admission free tickets, not purchase, sorry. Players purchased, they're participating players, which is booked. No one can book no more.
Okay.
But if you want to come and watch and attend, go on the website, get a general admission ticket for free. So we know you're coming. There's going to be vendors there. If you want to be a vendor, you're a local business, 732-575-9500. Hit me up. $100 for the weekend. Or if you're a 7v7 club, it's free. If you're any type of youth football organization too, it's free.
Okay.
But if you're like a juice company or you're a smoothie company, something like that, $100 for the weekend, $50 a day. Just so we can cover some costs on our end.
Oh, sure.
We got a lot of costs between uniforms and field rentals, all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That is Nico, I appreciate you coming on. Nico Steriti from Elite 7v7 Tournament, S3, Tom's River kid, big-time football player from the area and a big-time friend of mine. Nico, appreciate you coming in. Thanks for sharing everything. Look forward to hearing more soon.
Ben, I love you, bro. You're the man. Thank you.
Right back at you, my friend. More Shore Sports Talk on 94.3 The Point, sponsored by Shoreline Wealth Management, right after this.
Let's face it, investment concepts and financial planning can be very intimidating and confusing. Shoreline Wealth Management addresses that feeling head on. Their goal is to educate you while offering financial advice without buzzwords and jargon. Shoreline includes you in the process and makes you comfortable every step of the way on your path to financial freedom. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor. Visit shorelinewealth.com for more information today. Shoreline Wealth Management, with offices in Manchester and Manahawkin. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.